So I've been using both solar power and lead acid batteries for quite some time now. I've got to know the ins and outs, the idiosyncrasies of batteries, a different type of batteries, how much to charge them, discharge them, all those kind of things to keep the life at maximum. But inevitably I've got to move to lithium because after all, lithium is the way to go. So I started doing a little bit of looking into it, a bit of research, watching a few videos, and I did have a few old laptop batteries laying around, so I pulled them apart, found out the cells that were good, found out the cells that were no good, and bought some parts off eBay and ended up with this. So I've got a little BMS here, and then I've got the BMS wires hooked up. It works quite well. I've done some testing. Did some charging, discharging. It keeps the cells in balance quite well. I purposely even put a cell in that was out of balance, and when it charged it up, it balanced it all really nicely. So I've been monitoring it. It's been pretty good. So I was happy enough to start leaving it. I was using a lead acid battery to run the lighting, so solar panel into this, run the lighting in my house, and then I decided to move over to lithium. So today I had a bit of an issue. So as you can tell, all the batteries are not connected at the moment. So when I got home, I noticed the voltage it turned off, in short. So the BMS had dropped out, cut everything off. So it's obviously gone into fault state. It's seen a problem and shut everything down, which is really good because at least I don't have a fire. Further investigation, I saw this lovely battery here with corrosion. So it's had quite a fair bit of electrolyte leak out, and it's corroded and made a mess and all sorts of stuff. So I thought, alright, I'll rip that out, because who knows how long it's been like that, and I just didn't want to get any worse, and so I thought I'd do that. That's when I came across a problem. I really had trouble pulling these out. So these batteries, so I bought these modules. I thought they were pretty good because at least I can, while testing, I can throw a battery in and out really easily. They actually sit in there really tight, and the way they go, you can't get a good grip on them, and so they're really hard to get out. So that was a bit of fun pulling all these batteries out, and see right now I'm even having a trouble with this one. They are really quite difficult. And then so what I ended up doing is using a pair of pliers, and as you can tell here, you start damaging the plastic on the casing, which is not the end of the world, but it's just messy and annoying. So my worry is then if I had to disconnect these in a hurry, what would I do? So I went to the supermarket, picked up some string, and so here's my theory. So if I put the string under one, which is obviously a lot easier said than done, to right under these, it's kind of like the old way when you buy normal alkaline batteries in a battery housing and then things like that. And it's hard to pull out. So the theory is now I'm going to have this string here, and then if I've got to pull them out, I'll be able to rip up on the string and pull the whole row out, disconnecting, because these are set up in series. So there's probably a better way of doing it, but this is the way I'm doing it for now, because on a Friday night, pretty much only the supermarket's open. I can't think of a better way right now. But my concern is these batteries here. So if we look at the voltage, so what's happened, obviously, one battery's not happy anymore, and it's dropped its voltage. So the electrolytes come out, you check it, it's really not happy, 0.5 of a volt. Now it looks like what's happened, and obviously I'm glad there hasn't been a fire or anything like that, hopefully it happens slowly, is what's happened is all the other batteries have then also gone down to less than a volt. Means my charger won't even start to charge it. It just flashes when you try to plug them in because it thinks it's too low. I don't know if I can trickle charge them at a really low voltage just to get them up to chargeable voltage again, because hopefully they haven't been too low too much. That's my concern, using old batteries and testing them. Even if I end up using new ones and they failed, having batteries in groups in parallel like this have one single failure and it's just sucked the life out of the other batteries, brought the voltage down too low, past well below the recommended lowest charge voltage of these batteries. So how do I protect against this? This is something I'm going to have to look into. If anyone has any ideas, let me know. So yeah, I thought this would be a really good idea, and I've got a couple of issues. I can't pull the batteries out very quickly or easily, and as for, if you look at it, you think, oh yeah, that'd be easy to do. And then also, if I do have a battery failure, it'll bring down everything else that's in parallel with it. Now the other batteries, actually, while I'm here, I'll show that. So the BMS was probably good. It hasn't actually dragged any of the other batteries down. So if you look at any of these, so we're set at 3.5 volts, which is pretty good, because I haven't been charging them all the way to the 4.2, because I've only just got a standard solar, basic solar PWM controller pushing it, so it's literally just pretty much charging the maximum of 14 volts, so we got 4 in series. So how we get that? So we're not charging them to 100%, which is good, because they should last longer anyway. But yeah, my big issue is, what do I do now? How do I protect against one cell failure, one flattening all the other batteries? Two, you'd hate for it to start causing thermal runaway or other issues. I know Tesla have a very small fuse on the of each cell. Maybe that's enough that one of these collapses, draws a lot of current. It may pop the fuse on that, so that's something I'm going to have to look into and test and see what happens. But the last thing I want is a fire in my house while I'm not home. So, well, time will tell. We'll see what happens.